Michael Chertoff, who's behind this latest cyber attack?
Well, I don't think we know that. There's a lot of speculation about it. What we do know is that it appears that this particular type of encryption ransomware, Petya, has been out there for a while. And the question is, how is it getting into systems? Some of it is apparently through a vulnerability in Microsoft that should have been patched, but some people have not patched. Some of it may be coming in through other means, for example, email phishing or other ways of evading antivirus. So who's responsible? Hard to tell. We know originally
We know the Ukrainians think it's the Russians.
Well, obviously Ukrainians think it's the Russians. It may be multiple people taking advantage of getting the exploit and being able to deploy it, using it for their own purposes.
It looks like whoever is behind the hack was trying to cause chaos rather than trying to raise a lot of money. Well, I mean, they were asking for, I think, $300 and only 30 people have paid up. That doesn't actually make you much cash.
Well, typically in ransomware, they don't ask for exorbitant sums of money. I mean, the business model for criminals in this particular line of cyber criminality.
I love that there's a business model for
Yeah,
this.
there is a business model. The business model is relatively small amount of money so people can pay. You make the money in volume, and then generally their model is they will restore access to the data when you pay. Because if they don't do that, then again, people will stop
But
paying.
only 30 people pay. It's not a great business model.
Right, so it sounds to me in this case, perhaps, the execution has not been what the more sophisticated criminals will do. Now, whether people will then start to lose their data and whether that then inspires more people to pay remains to be seen.
In both the WannaCry case and in this case, it seems that actually the damage was contained. Do you still stand by the idea that it's not a question of if, it's a question of when the world faces a major cyber attack that is not contained and where the damage is substantially greater than either of these two attacks?
I do stand by that because I think, as I say, the ransomware episodes, generally speaking, are ways of extorting money for criminal purposes. Attacks that were carried out by terrorists or where there's a geopolitical issue, like, for example, the shutdown of Ukrainian power last Christmas and the Christmas before by the Russians, those are actually going to be much more damaging because the objective is not to extort money. The objective is actually to inflict harm. And we've seen examples of that in Estonia in 2007, Georgia 2008. We could see more of that to come.
How concerned are you about the prospect that there will be a major attack by a national or a non-state player?
I think, as with many people in the intelligence field, I believe this is probably the most serious threat we currently face. First of all, the terrorists, although they have not yet used cyber as a destructive tool rather than a recruiting tool, they may yet decide they want to do it. You have the North Koreans who have shown very little restraint and have access to cyber weapons. And I do think as we get a rise in tension around the world, there's a greater likelihood that you will see cyber as a domain of conflict.
Michael Chertoff, thanks very much. On that wonderfully optimistic note, we must leave it. Thank you.